Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. It's very good to see you. Our lead this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is one that is still developing. 2 days after violence erupted in Leh, killing 4 and injuring 60, Sonam Wangchuk has been arrested. The environmentalist has been slapped with the stringent NSA, which means that he can stay behind bars for 12 months without any trial. Right after the arrest, Wangchuk was taken to an undisclosed location and then subsequently flown out of Leh to where we still don't know, possibly Delhi. Anticipating his arrest, the Magsaysay Award winner had already warned that his arrest could backfire on the government. He had said yesterday, and I'm quoting him now, this is a quote given to PTI, "I'm ready for arrest, but Sonam Wangchuk in jail may cause them more problems than a free Sonam Wangchuk." His wife today is saying Wangchuk is being treated as a criminal for no reason. The opposition is calling this the height of dictatorship. Arvind Kejriwal is asking, did we take freedom from the British to become BJP slaves? The TMC says the Modi government has no policy for sensitive places like Kashmir or Manipur or Ladakh. In fact, Sagaruka Ghosh of the party is saying, and I'm quoting her now, all that the incompetent regime can do is treat any dissent as anti-national and arrest under draconian laws. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what exactly is this National Security Act that the opposition says is being misused to curb dissent? Essentially, NSA is a preventive detention law in India that allows the central and state governments to detain individuals for up to 12 months without formal charges or even a trial. It is invoked to prevent individuals from acting in ways that are considered prejudicial to India's defense, relations with foreign powers, security, or maintenance of public order and essential services. These are the reasons why it can be invoked. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Act has been subject to criticism for its potential to violate human rights and suppress dissent due to its provision for detention without any formal charges or trial. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the government claims there is no human rights violation here. They claim Wangchuk was the one who instigated the mob that went on a rampage on Wednesday. They claim he made speeches that referred to the Arab Spring and Nepal's Gen Z revolution that overthrew the government there. Now, my question is this. Were these remarks made during his 15-day strike, which ended with violence? Well, the video that is being propped up on social media is a few months old. Just take a look at it.
Revolution Arabe Yul Chuge Chige Jung mas poskap du government Chikman government took poskap
Yang tene daksa mangpe mols thak chat pe gyurja yong chezeno Nepal la yong steoto Bangladesh la yong steoto Sri Lanka yong steoto miman se gyurja kyonganok tene chik chik shina tene kyonganok samara reale nyer rewate o.
Ladies and gentlemen, fact is that for the last 6 years, the people of Ladakh have been asking for the 6th schedule that was promised to them, the 2 Lok Sabha seats that were promised to them, job reservations that were promised to them, statehood that was promised to them. Point also is the deadlock between the government and Ladakh's representatives had recently been broken and talks were to be held on October 6th. Then question is, why was Wangchuk still on his Gandhian fast? But the question also is, where is the proof that it was Wangchuk who provoked the violence? So far, all we have is a note from the MHA and a couple of old videos. Has Wangchuk then been made a scapegoat for the government's failure to read the room and anticipate the arson? With those questions, I'm going to my guests who are joining me this evening. Thank you very much. Tom Varadkar, BJP National Spokesperson, joining us on the broadcast. Sushant Sareen is a Senior Fellow ORF, joining us on the broadcast as well. Yashovardhan Azad will be joining us in just a bit. Sajjad Kargil is a member of the Kargil Democratic Alliance, will be with us in just a bit. And Dr. Pooja Tripathi is a Congress spokesperson, joining us this evening. Thank you all very much. Sushant, I want to start with you as someone who looks at security very closely. do you see this as the government's failure to read the room in Ladakh? This is a very sensitive area we are talking about. You know, you can't say things that will inflame passions further. We have seen what has happened in Manipur. The last thing that you want is a Manipur to repeat in Ladakh. How do you read what has happened in the last 48 to 72 hours?
Shreya, quite clearly, I don't think the government can completely absolve itself of what happened. There was, in fact, in your report earlier, you were saying that, Wangchuk's incitement to repeat what happened in the Arab Spring or what happened in Bangladesh or in Nepal. Incidentally, the guy doesn't know that the Arab Spring was more of an Arab winter and was a disaster for the people in the Arab world, was responsible for the deaths of millions of people. The Bangladeshi so-called revolution, which he eulogizes, has been a disaster for Bangladesh, has destroyed its economy, has unleashed the Islamists on the streets of Bangladesh, and you have a clown of a Nobel laureate heading that country. And Nepal, again, we've seen only death and destruction so far, no stability. And it'll take a long time for Nepal to come back. So people who have been provoking other people and the youth on the basis of this, that's a very dangerous thing. But having said that, it is very clear that, it's not that one speech and then everybody comes onto the streets and starts indulging in arson. This would have been going on for some time. It has been going on for some time. And I think the government cannot simply shake off the responsibility that it lost the ball. It lost sight of the ball. And things spiraled out of control. If there was an apprehension of breach of peace, then they should have preempted that march. But Shreya, at the same time, I don't think that is an excuse for mobs to run amok in any place. To say that, okay, if the government had lost sight of the ball, that this is a license for what happened in Ladakh 2 days back, I don't think anybody can make that argument also.
Okay, but
so I think it is important
arrest him under the NSA. He's predicting it will boomerang on the government. Do you think it will? NSA is a very stringent act. He can be in jail for the next 12 months without even a trial starting. Is that an excess?
No, but Shreya, what does he want? He wants that he should be allowed to keep doing what he's doing and no action should be taken against him. The book should not be thrown at him. Now, whether it's the NSA or some other act under which he's going to be booked, that's a different matter. That's for the government to decide. But for this person to say that he has the license to do what he did and nobody can dare to touch him because everything will go up in flames, that tells you his mentality, right? That what he's been trying to do out there. And Shreya, I'll just take half a second more. The demand was not originally of statehood. The demand was of a UT. And the UT was given to them. Now, whether the UT is working the way it should work, it is not working, whether you wanted more powers, you wanted a legislative assembly, etc., etc. Those are things which can be worked out and the government needs to be sensitive to it. But just because some group of people stand up and start making demands does not mean that those demands will be conceded or that it's practical to concede those demands. After all, Ladakh is a union territory in a very sensitive area. And the government in Delhi has to look at other considerations than simply the fact that there is a bunch of people who are demanding a certain thing. It's not necessary that it has to be granted, but some middle way could have been found. And I think it's unfortunate that that has not happened.
And therefore, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, I'm coming to you with the next question. Why should the opposition call Mr. Wangchuk's arrest dictatorial? How is this dictatorial? The person has been found, at least by the government. I don't have the proof, but the government, it seems, has the proof. Now, the government has said, and the MHA is saying, he's the one who provoked the mobs. These mobs went on a rampage. 4 people were dead by the end of it. The least you expect is an arrest. And when he's arrested, the opposition is saying this is dictatorship. Kya humne British Raj ko isliye bhagaya tha so that we can all become slaves to the BJP, etc. Why this rhetoric, ma'am? Pooja, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Sorry. Shreya, Home Minister Amit Shah ji himself promised people of Ladakh at the floor of the parliament to be included in 6 schedules, reservation of jobs in them, and now they see a staggering unemployment rate of 26.8%. They were promised their conservation of their fragile ecosystems. They were promised, the Hill Autonomous Development Councils, and now when they are protesting after 5 years of broken promises, betrayal, now you are going and arresting. What is the proof that Sonam Wangchuk was on a fast and to death with 16 other protesters, 2 of them who fell seriously ill, and this whole ripple. See, I'm saying violence is not the answer. Violence is never the answer to any arson, violence, burning buildings down. Is never, everything should go by the law. But look at how you betrayed the promises, how you went away from your promises, how you are alienating the youth. I've been to Ladakh, I've stayed in Ladakh, I've seen Ladakhis as proud Indians. And the irony here is Sonam Wangchuk was the cheerleader of Modi ji's governance in 2014 and 19. He even, called Article 370 abrogation as historic and wrote to Prime Minister that he's an environmentalist in himself. And that's when somebody goes against you, somebody tries to remind you of your broken promises, somebody tries to remind you that nothing has been done. He even went on a 1,000-kilometer photo march from Ladakh to Delhi where he was detained, and that's when you go on to arrest the same person. And some old videos, and it's the same toolkit, foreign funding, Pakistan link. They actually blame the purported video, purported photo of somebody, some random person inciting violence, calling it Congress councillor, and now Congress councillor has come forward and he said he'll take legal action against everybody, the BJP IT cell head and the media houses too. So that's their toolkit. That's, what about Sonam Wangchuk's arrest should not be used as a smokescreen for what you promised to Ladakh and what you delivered. You delivered nothing. Look at the Changkhar mega solar power project. It has come into huge acres of land and there's been no environmental impact assessment. There have been no social impact assessment, and that's what Ladakhis are demanding. They're demanding dignity and their just identity. And you cannot eliminate a group of people in a very sensitive area too.
Okay, Tom, essentially the opposition charges that you have pulled out your familiar toolkit. Pakistan link, foreign funding, George Soros, China ka bhi link, etc., to villainize a person who till 4 to 5 years ago was standing with you. I'm not sure whether Sonam Wangchuk was a cheerleader of the BJP government, but certainly on issues like China, he was standing firm with the government. Till then, there are no FRA violations, FCRA violations that are found against him. Till then, he's a nationalist, as much as a nationalist as you and me. And suddenly today, because the situation in Leh goes out of hand, you are responsible, to some extent, you are responsible for it as well. You blame Sonam Wangchuk. Is dissent banned in this country? If I go and protest on the streets for something, will the NSA be slapped against me? Can you really hold the fact that a person went to Pakistan on a work visit against the person to call that person anti-national?
Shreya, if you're finished, let me give you a background of this gentleman. He is following the footprints of Che Guevara, the lieutenant of Castro. And what he said at Dante is very interesting. If you connect it up with what Sonam Wangchuk is saying, if the capitalists ever catch me, I will be more dangerous. This is 1959-63, this was said. And how many people were killed and butchered? 500 men lost their lives. Now, this concept of Arab Spring, the conspiracy angle is vivid. Only a blind man would say this is not a conspiracy. He has been positioned. It all started with a film called Idiot, where he was mentioned for the first time. And that set the record that there was a man existing called Sonam Wangchuk. And that was the build-up. Then came the awards. Then came the NGO donations. Then came the money. All this was happening. We gave him a long rope, Shreya, a long rope. Democratic India gave him he is a practitioner of guerrilla tactics. He wants to create a situation where a strategic state like Ladakh is an experimental tool, a toolkit. You asked me about the toolkit. That's the toolkit which certain parties like Congress and the Congress's hand in this whole exercise is shown by that councillor who says he's going to file cases against people. Okay, go ahead and do it. First tell us what you did, how you did it, and who are your mentors. These are issues that need to be in public knowledge.
Mr. Vadakkan, this is a very interesting premise you put to us. You say in 2009, when Three Idiots was released, it was actually not just the release of a super hit film. It was the propping up of a dissenter who would make life miserable for Narendra Modi in 2025. माने कांग्रेस ने 2009 में इतना कुछ सोच लिया. Mr. Vadakkan, I find that very hard to believe because the Congress party isn't that competent. If they were competent, they would have won some elections since then.
There is the involvement of deep state in this. They have a long program. No, I know.
Okay.
No, you will be surprised at this. But the fact of the matter is, there's an attempt for regime change, whether you like it or not.
No,
it is happening, and they're trying their best.
So,
because they're trying.
From 2009, the Congress has been plotting for a regime change in 2025. A regime change that was not even in existence or anywhere near existence.
Hey, believe me, I'll tell you how. I'll tell you the historical background. When the LOP of this country goes and creates a situation abroad, the last interview was that our institutions are dead, our economy is dead, we are over and out. What is the gentleman doing? This is the Congress party that's doing it. And the hand of the Congress party is connected with this Wangchuk gentleman. And if the government did not act, it would have been later. They have given him a long rope. They called him to Delhi. They had discussions.
Now that long rope is over. He has been trapped with the NSA and he has been arrested.
If you burn police stations, police vehicles, party offices beyond this is not about ideology. This is a power game to demolish India that is
Mr. Azad, I know you want to come in. You've been smiling. But I think I should let Pooja come in here. Pooja, please take 20 seconds. Respond to what Mr. Vadakkan is saying.
You know, if bizarre opinion and stupidity had a face, this would be an argument. If you want to slap NSA, go and slap NSA on Vidhu Vinod Chopra and Amir Khan too. For making a film in 2009, Three Idiots to, bring Sonam Wangchuk to national limelight and actually creating a flaw.
Did you hear about Sonam before that?
I would like to remind dearest Tom Vadakkan, Mr. Vadakkan, 8 minutes, Pooja. 8 minutes. Mr. Vadakkan, you do realize that 2 days ago, the Modi government has awarded Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra. 8 minutes, Pooja. 2 days ago, the Modi government has awarded Mr. Vidhu Vinod Chopra, the maker of Three Idiots, with the National Award, sir.
Three Idiots is actually the destabilized Narendra Modi government or 10 years later.
This is the element that came in was a build-up for this personality. This personality has been raised because of that film. I'm not saying the film was bad. The film was very interesting. We all watched it. But we did not realize that Sonam Wangchuk is going to be the center stage for a build-up for destroying our country.
No, again, but that, I've just told you why that argument doesn't hold water, but I'll let the other panelists come in. Yashovardhan Azad, as a former IPS officer, I want to ask you this. You have been tracking what has been going on in Leh for the last 3 days. I want an independent analysis / professional opinion on whether, given what we have seen on our screens and the information we have so far, whether what happened in Leh was organic or whether it was orchestrated, and if it was orchestrated, was it orchestrated by Sonam Wangchuk, who is now under arrest under the NSA?
Yes, and it's much beyond the Three Idiots or any kind of linking between the two incidents, which is beyond my comprehension. Now, let me say that Ladakh, for the first time, we have seen a very, very serious issue like this. Right in 2019, if you recall, the Chinese were very, very upset with the constitution of the breaking up the state and making Ladakh UT because they said that it somehow defines some kind of a border. And that is one of the reasons why you can never make Ladakh a state. It's a highly security sensitive region, and therefore it's understandable that it cannot be made. It is an unadministered UT territory even now. And so even if you're talking in terms of MLAs, what kind of legislature would you give? Because there are 2 MLAs in there and 2 MLAs here, and there are 2 MPs. Even on the question of MPs, there is a problem because there is no delimitation as yet, except in 2036. But because of the JK Reorganization Act, which has taken place, in this particular case, what are you going to do? You cannot. So therefore, the only route for the government was that some kind of because this is a political thing. This is nothing to do with here. And he's right when he says that that earlier on the ecology part of Ladakh was being raised again and again by Sonam Wangchuk. And this time it has taken a political turn that they are talking about other issues. So what is the route? The route was economic. The route is that 26% of the graduates are unemployed.
Correct.
And the spark for this riot came when they were sitting on hunger. And 2 of the hunger strikers became serious, and therefore it sparked off taking all the other causes into consideration. Therefore, this act of arrest is I think, is a highly not thought about seriously. Sonam Wangchuk is not only respected in India, he's respected abroad too. He's a Magsaysay winner. I mean, if you meet him, he'll come across as a very cogent person. And I had the opportunity to meet him when after his march was stopped last time, along with the MP also, Hanifa, who's there from Ladakh. So these are very, very serious issues which we needed to consider. Now, the second point, which you're asking, whether this arrest is legitimate or not. I don't know, because this arrest has to be on the issue whether his speech actually ignited some kind of a situation which was against the state and which seriously impacted the public order.
Correct.
I don't think so, because the situation had gone beyond already. And Sonam Wangchuk is not the kind of man. I mean, after all, the intelligence agencies also have their information. They have the information. They have the background and everything. And the second most important thing is about the FCRA violation. We still don't know whether it's a technical violation.
Correct.
Or the second part, Shreya, which is most important, let me just finish this, is that it's true that many of the NGOs working in the climate change area get a lot of funding from abroad. It's true, because, you know, it catches the attention, it catches the eye. But is that against the state? Is a very, very serious question to be deliberated.
No, but the serious question that also needs to be deliberated is, why should a climate NGO be studying the sovereignty of this nation? That is a question that also needs to be understood. My point is, you know, again, are we misreading or underreading the anger in Ladakh about promises that have not been delivered? And okay, there may be some FCRA violations as far as Sonam Wangchuk's NGOs are considered, but is he anti-national? Did he actually provoke the violence that has led to the 4 people being dead? If he is, we haven't seen the proof so far. As I said, all we have is a note from the MHA. We'll see how the story develops. For the moment, ladies and gentlemen, as things stand now, Sonam Wangchuk has been arrested under the stringent NSA, which is the National Security Act. He has now been flown out of Ladakh. Where exactly? We don't know. We'll end it here. Thank you very much, Tom Varakan, for joining us on the broadcast. Sushant Sareen, good to have you on the show. Yashwardhan Azad, thank you very much. And thank you, Pooja Tripathi, for joining us this evening. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, slipping into a break. There's more on the other side.